Now that we've learned all about the different text features, we are going to be detectives to find all the nonfiction text features within a nonfiction story. The story I chose is Ocean Life Up Close, Lobsters. Lobsters is the title of our story, and I chose this story because you guys are all Rocky rock stars, and I think Rocky would be so proud of how well you are doing this year. Now let's get started, and keep your eyes peeled for our text features. Let's look at the first page. Table of contents. Well, that's a text feature. And this text feature gives us the different chapters and the page in which that chapter starts. So if I wanted to find out all about what lobsters eat, I would look at the different chapter titles. I can see that one of the chapters is titled Finding Food. That starts on page 12. So if I just wanted to learn about what lobsters eat, I would probably start on page number 12. Now, great job noticing your table of contents. Let's keep going. What are lobsters? Now that's the heading of this page. Lobsters are crustaceans known for their hard outer shells and long tails. Now, within that paragraph, I can see there's a bolded word, crustaceans. That word crustaceans is an important word that the author wants you to notice. It is also a word that's going to be in the glossary. So if you don't know what the word crustacean means, you can go there to look it up. These animals have 10 legs. They use them to walk on the bottom of the ocean. Now that we're done with our text, I like to look at all the pictures and other text features I see on the page. This big picture is of a lobster, and I can look at the labels, this text feature, right here, American lobster, to know that this picture is the American lobster. So there's another text feature. And then we have another label, which is leg. And this label points directly to the lobster's leg. Right here, up in the top corner, is our sidebar. It says other crustaceans. Then it lists other type of crustaceans that you might find in the ocean. You have barnacles, crabs, and shrimp. If you remember, a sidebar presents facts that are related to our topic. So this is related to our topic because it talks about other animals that are crustaceans. Lobsters are found near the shores of many oceans. They often live in water less than 160 feet or 50 meters deep. Most lobsters live on rocky or weedy ocean floors. There, they have places to hide. On this page, I see a new text feature. I see a map, and this map is titled Species Spotlight, American Lobster. So then there's a key right here, and my key says American Lobster Range with this pink in a box. So that means the American lobster live all around here, so all on the coast of North America, right where we live. There are also some photographs on this page, and there's even a diagram right down here called Conservation Status, Least Concern. So that shows us that the American lobster, we are not concerned about it becoming extinct. There are plenty of lobsters. Sizes and colors. Oh, another heading. Lobsters come in many different sizes. Tiny lobsters are only a few inches long. Large lobsters can weigh more than 40 pounds, 18 kilograms, and measure over 3 3 feet, 1 meter long. I see another text feature on this page, which is a chart. Now, this chart shows us the sizes of lobsters because it's titled Lobster Sizes. So the smallest lobster is the pygmy locust lobster. And this is the actual size. So this is a visual representation of a lobster. Then the largest is the American lobster. And it shows us right here that it's 3.6 feet. Most lobsters are green or brown. These colors camouflage them in weeds and rock. A few kinds of lobsters are yellow or blue. Spiny lobsters can be colorful. On this page, there's a lot of text features. First off, I see the word camouflage is bolded. Now, if you remember from the previous page, when a word is bolded, that means it's going to be in the glossary. So if you don't know what camouflage means, you can go to the glossary to find out what that means. Then there's a real photograph of a lobster with a label to tell us that this is the Mediterranean slipper lobster. Oh, I love that name. Then here's a chart. And in this chart, it's titled Identify a Lobster. So it has all different labels to show us that this is the antenna of the lobster. These are the legs, and there's 10 of them. And this is the long tail. So within this photograph, there are different labels to tell us all about the parts of a lobster. Finding food. Ding, ding, ding. Another heading. Lobsters have eyes on the ends of side stalks. However, their eyesight is poor. 2 pairs of antennae help lobsters find food. Now, in that paragraph, I don't know what eye stalks is. This word is bolded, so I could go all the way to my glossary and find the word eye stalks, which tells us it's a removable stem that have an eye at each tip. I didn't know that. So now I'm going to go back and continue reading. I also notice when I look at this picture, there's a label that shows me that this is actually the eye stalk. So we can use different text features like bolded words and labels within pictures to help us understand what the author is trying to tell us. Lobsters use their legs to grab food from the ocean floor. Then we have a picture of the European lobster. These omnivores like to eat mussels, worms, and small fish. They also eat plants. Some lobsters have big claws. Crusher claws, crack shells, and pincher claws hold and tear apart prey. Other lobsters use strong jaws to crush food. Here's some pictures. We have the catch of the day, the blue mussels, green algae, and long-spined sea urchins. Now, this is a sidebar, but it's at the top of our page. And in this, there's images that tell us what the lobsters eat. Then we have more pictures that identify the parts of a lobster. We have the pincher and the crusher. Hiding and growing. A new heading. That means this chapter is going to be all about lobsters hiding and growing. Few animals eat lobsters. These crustaceans hide well. If they are spotted, their hard outer shells help protect them. Lobsters with big claws use them to scare away predators. When in danger, lobsters may use their tails to quickly swim away. Sea enemies. So this image, this sidebar tells us all about the sea enemies. We have the Atlantic cod, common octopus, and moray eels. Can anybody tell me what lobster this is? Female lobsters carry eggs under their bodies. They hide the eggs until the larvae are ready to hatch. Newborn lobsters are tiny. They float at the surface for a few weeks before sinking to the ocean floor. Here is a chart which is titled The Life Cycle of a Lobster. I know this is a chart because it's a flow chart and it uses pictures and arrows to tell me about how a lobster started and then how it grows throughout its life. So first it starts as eggs, then they become larvae, then it becomes a young adult, and then it becomes an adult. And the adults lay eggs. So this is a life cycle, so it continues on and on and on. Lobsters must molt to grow. They break out their old shells. Lobsters are soft until their new shells harden. They molt many times in their lives. Each time lobsters molt, they are bigger and stronger. Let's look at this first image. The label is molting. That means this picture is actually a lobster changing out of its shell. The end. Almost. Now we're at the glossary. The glossary is where you can find words in the text that are defined. So if you don't know what a bolded word means, like I didn't know what eye stalks was, I came back here to the glossary to find out the definition. Oops. There are all different words in this story that were defined. Then there's a Learn More page, which some nonfiction texts have. So this tells you some different articles or websites you can go to find more about lobsters. Then our last page is the index. The index has all different topics about a lobster, and then it tells you the page numbers, which where you can find out about each topic. So if I wanted to find about eye stalks, I would go to page number 12. Thank you for being detectives with me and reading this story called Lobsters and finding and learning about all different new text features. Great job.